Good evening, Otherworldlies. This is Queen Juliana, your dark mask diva. Alright, you guys, I'm just going to talk about, just like in general, I'm going to talk about manipulative people. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a question that people ask a lot, or they wonder a lot. Why do manipulative people like me? Because if you have run into a lot of manipulative people in your life, or you wonder why they keep bothering you, like, why do you keep having to deal with them? Because you kind of think, there's nothing wrong with me, so why do I keep running into these manipulative people? Because you're wondering, why do I seem to be a target? Yeah, you keep asking yourself that, like, what is up with that? Because you're going down the list. You probably hit up Google a lot, get those self-help books. You're like, what is it? Why are these manipulative people always coming after me? And why do I have to keep dealing with them? I mean, you could have been living most of your life dealing with one manipulative character after another, just wondering, like, what is wrong with me? Why do I have all these manipulative people? Okay, so I'm going to tell you there's probably nothing wrong with you. Okay, there's something wrong with them. All right, this is what may be going on. Okay, because I've really, I run into manipulative people, and this is kind of what I think is going on. Here's what could be going on. Okay, you are probably a nice person. You're probably somebody who believes in being nice to everybody. Okay, so you're probably nice to like 100 people, and nothing happens. But you're 100 nice to 99 people, but they're number 100. They're a manipulative person, so you were just nice to the wrong person. Okay, so you may have been nice to people all day long, nothing happened. You were, it was fine that you were nice to all those people all day. You smiled and said hello, good morning, and everybody smiled and said hello and good morning back to you and everything like that. But then you were nice to a manipulative person, and they made you sorry for being nice to them. I think that's what happened. I think you just ran across a lot of people that you were happy to be nice to, no problem, and that you were just nice to the manipulative person, and that person glommed onto you. Right? So I think that's what happened. I think it's because you just happen to be an open, friendly, nice person. Because you're probably an extrovert, right? That's probably the way you were raised. You were probably raised to have manners. You're probably raised to be polite. You're probably raised to look people in the eye, say good morning to them, hello to them, please and thank you. And you were probably just raised to be kind to other people and to treat everybody the same, right? So what happened was you were nice to the wrong person, and it happened to be them, right? So they were just kind of like, oh my God, a nice person. I see somebody who's genuinely a good, wholesome, decent, kind, nice person. I'm going to completely take from them. Yes, because that's what manipulative people do. That's their whole MO. Now, I'm going to tell you something about manipulative people that a lot of people actually don't know. Some people are manipulative, but it's not malicious. Yeah. Some people are manipulative because that's the only way they know how to live. Okay? Some people are manipulative in a non-malicious way. That's the only way they know how to get their needs met, is to be manipulative. They don't know how to come out and ask for what they want, because they feel like if they come out and ask for what they want, they're going to be told no. So they feel like they actually subconsciously do manipulative things. They're literally not conscious of what they're doing. So sometimes you're thinking, why is this otherwise nice person so manipulative? And that's why it messes with your mind so much. It's because they're subconsciously doing it. It's the way they've learned to survive. Okay, because not all of us are on the same level of capability. Some people have minds like children, okay? So they've overdeveloped that other part of their mind that is manipulative. Okay? So the way they've learned to get what they want is to be manipulative. And that is what children do. Okay? So they're like children. Children are highly manipulative. I don't know if you have kids, but kids are manipulative. They are just grown children who have honed the skill very well. So what they try to do is just manipulate their way into getting whatever they want as adults. So if you're wondering why they just seem like a nice person, but they're very manipulative, it's because they're doing it subconsciously. They may not even be aware of what they're doing. And so sometimes when you tell them no and they genuinely seem upset, they may not even be consciously even aware that they're doing something wrong. That doesn't mean it's not okay to tell them no. They need to be told no. Okay? They just do. Okay? You have the right to tell anyone no anytime for any reason. All right? So whether they're manipulating you maliciously or not, anytime anyone's manipulating you, it is okay to tell them no. So and if they throw a tantrum, that's their problem. They are an adult, whether they function like one or not. Okay, so some people just are unconsciously manipulative because they are emotionally arrested at, some kind of young age for some reason. All right, we don't all mature at the same rate, unfortunately. Okay, some of us are intellectually ahead. Some of us are intellectually ahead and emotionally behind, or emotionally ahead and intellectually behind. I mean, we're all growing at a different rate. Okay, so some of us are behind in every single way. Some of us are ahead in every single way. I mean, it takes all kinds of people to make the world a very interesting place, but some people, the only way they function is to manipulate. And some people just have disorders where it just makes them to the point where all they do is manipulate. That's the only way they function, is manipulating. And they lack key self-awareness to where, you point it out to them, they're manipulating you and it's not okay. And they simply cannot they can't take responsibility for it. And they can't say sorry. And they can't be sorry. They literally can't be sorry for what they're doing. I mean, they can't. Some people are aware, some people aren't, and some people will just never admit that they're doing something wrong. You'll never get your sorry from them. So don't hold your breath. Okay. So I jotted down some notes about manipulative people, but I'm gonna look at my notes. Okay, here are some reasons manipulators pick you. These are from the notes that I took. It says you've got low self-esteem. You love to take care of other people. You believe in love at first sight. You've got damaged or non-existent boundaries. You pick people who are familiar to you. Okay, like that last one, you pick people who are familiar to you. Have you got a lot of manipulators in your past? Was your family of origin full of manipulators? Like one manipulator parent, two manipulator parents, a manipulative sibling maybe, that manipulating people may feel like love to you. So if you had a manipulative person in your early childhood, it may feel, completely, it's uncomfortable. You don't like it, yet it's comfortable at the same time. And I know to a normal person that doesn't make sense, but if it's something that you grew up with, you may be subconsciously choosing it over and over. And when somebody hears that, when somebody from the outside hears that don't pick manipulators, it sounds like complete insanity. But if it's something that's a pattern, it's a pattern, right? Okay, so let's see. Manipulators, they like to target people that are vulnerable in some way. Okay, I'm going to say vulnerable, like they may target somebody who has some kind of illness, okay, or is going through some kind of crossroads in their life. All right, they may target somebody who recently went through like a death in the family. Have you recently broken up with somebody? Okay. Maybe you just lost a major person who was a support system in your life. Or they target people that don't really have a good support system in their lives. All right. So they try to swoop in and go to people that do not have a lot of help. All right. And they act like they're going to help that person. Okay, they're really good at that. What they're going to do is they're just going to completely try to take the person's life over. Okay, they may target somebody who's on the autism spectrum. Okay, because a lot of the time autistic people don't pick up on social cues and they don't see that the person's being manipulative. Okay, they don't really see. They're not picking up on the person's look in their face. The thing with manipulative people is they have this thing going with their eyes. Okay, that is different. Like manipulative people are people like narcissists. Narcissists have this thing going on with their eyes that other people don't have. And if you've ever had a narcissist in your life, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, people with other types of disorders also have that thing going on with their eyes. So if you've dealt with people with other types of disorders that are manipulative, you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Let's see. Okay, the thing about manipulative people is they fear not being in control. And I'm gonna explain that a little bit, okay? The reason they fear not being in control is because they are riddled with insecurity and anxiety. All right. So a lot of the things about manipulators is they fear not being in control. Sometimes it's part of their disorder, but it's also they are deeply insecure and they have anxiety. So they have the low self-esteem and the insecurity, and they have the anxiety. So those things together, along with the disorder, okay, they feel if they can control you and they can keep you emotionally dysregulated, that makes them feel in control. Okay, so they're just the master of your misery. And they feel, they will do anything and go to ridiculous lengths to try to run your life, make you do things, have the upper hand, do whatever, just to where they really almost become tyrants in your life, just so they can have the control. Okay. Again, usually personality disordered people. Okay. Anyone can be a manipulator, though you don't have to have a personality disorder. All right. And I'm not just talking about narcissists. I'm talking about anybody with a personality disorder. Okay. Let's see. They get angry with you if you set boundaries. Now, if they're not getting angry with you, if they're not having a tantrum, they ignore you when you set the boundaries. They pretend you didn't say anything, and they'll just ignore the boundaries, and they'll push harder. That was my whole thing when I would set the boundaries with this one particular person that I believe has a personality disorder. I think she has a diagnosis and she didn't tell me, but I would put the boundary up and she would have an excuse why she did not want to respect the boundary, and she would try to do the thing anyway. And I would keep having to outsmart her and put the boundary up again, and keep having to outsmart her again and put the boundary up again. It got to the point where I had to disengage from the whole completely associating with her. But she would keep trying to ignore the fact that I put the boundary up and do the things I didn't like anyway. But she was trying to ignore the boundary because she could not come out and literally say no. Because it was just one of those situations where she couldn't say, no, I won't do what you say. So she was just ignoring that I was saying that. No, I will just do blah, blah. No, I just told you I don't want you to do that. I'm going to do this, And she would just try to do it anyway and pretend I didn't tell her not to do something. So I would have to keep outsmarting her so she could not do the thing she kept trying to do. So she was trying to ignore the boundaries. And other people would even point out to her that I told her something. And so a lot of people who are manipulators like that, they will play dumb. Okay. This social media that I'm on, people try to play dumb on there all the time. Like this is a low grade type thing, but I'll get on there and some guy will try to talk to me. I'll be like, hey, look, dude, I have a fiance. I'm not going to let you chat me up or whatever. And they'll pretend I didn't say that, and they'll still try to chat me up. They'll just ignore the fact that I said that and keep going. I'm like, and then they'll go, what's your marital status? I just told you I was engaged, and we're not going to chat. They all do it. Okay, so it's just manipulation. Very stupid. Let's see. Okay, a lot of this stems from their need for power. And the only thing you can really do is to keep your distance. At the end of the day, the only thing you could really do is keep your distance. Now, I have a list of things you can say to him. I know I just told you can keep your distance, but here's some things you can say in conversations with him. This will stop them when they're talking to you. Okay? Here are the things. These are things manipulators hate in conversations, okay? And there's one thing on this list that I don't think you should say to people except for manipulators. And you'll know what it is when I say it, okay? These are things manipulators hate. And I've said a few of these things to manipulators to throw them off guard. 1, help me understand. Because you're making them repeat whatever BS they just said to you, okay? I see what you're saying. Now, I know these sound like just normal things that you just say to people. It sounds like what people are saying when they're on the call center, right? I appreciate your patience. Let's agree to disagree. Normally, I tell you not to say that to anybody. I say that's like one of the worst things you could say to people. But you need to say it to manipulators. Those are the only people you should say, let's agree to disagree. Normally, I think that's like one of the rudest freaking things you could say to somebody. You should say it to a manipulator, though. I need a moment to think about this. Could you go over that again? You've given me something to think about. Our connection means a lot to me. This isn't working for me. I'm comfortable with my decision. Can we explore other options? I need some time to think. Could you elaborate on that? I acknowledge your perspective. Use I statements to make them feel bad. Now, when I research use I statements to make them feel bad, I don't think they feel bad. But the person who wrote this is of the school of thought that they feel bad. I would feel taken advantage of if we did that. So they think that people feel bad. I don't know. I don't think the manipulators ever actually really feel bad, though. But there was that school of thought that some people manipulate without meaning to. So maybe that's where that's coming from. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? There were those innocent manipulators. But when you say those other things from that list, that kind of stops them in their tracks. And I've said a lot of those things. I never say let's agree to disagree because I think that's one of the worst things you could say to somebody. I really hate that saying, but if it disarms a manipulator, by all means say it. Seriously, I think that's one of the only times you should say it. Let's agree to disagree. I think to a nice person, though, I think that's a very rude thing to say, and you shouldn't say it. But I've gotten a lot of flack for saying that's a bad thing to say. Some people think it's a nice thing to say, and I don't think so. But to a manipulator, please say it if it works. Seriously. Manipulators, whatever their kryptonite is. Whatever disentangles you from their little web. Okay? And I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily makes you weak if they're going for you. I think if you regularly put up boundaries, I think if you have something they want, that's why they're going after you. And I think if you're a nice person, that's why they're going after you. But once you start putting up the boundaries, they're going to leave you alone. I think they're going to try you if they think you're nice. If they think you have money, they're going to want you if they think you have things. If they think you're nice, if they think you have money. Because what does everybody want? Money, right? So they're gonna like have their hand in your pocket. So they probably want your money, and they think you're nice. So they think you have something that they want, right? So I don't want you to stop being a nice person because of manipulators. But just put those boundaries up. Know when you're vulnerable that the vultures are out, okay? But just keep your boundaries up. And if you start getting the creeps from somebody, yeah, learn to ignore people. So, it's getting to the point where I'm a nice person. Like, I'm I am really nice because I give advice to people. So I'm like sensitive. I'm getting to where I can spot the manipulators like so fast now. I'm getting so much, sorry for snapping. I'm getting so much better at spotting the manipulators straight away and making them go way faster. But it took a long time. It took a really long time because I'm nice to everybody. But it's like, I don't have low self-esteem. You know, I'm not dumb. Like, I was like, why are they coming after me? I'm like, well, duh, because I'm nice. And they think I have money. I don't. So, anyway, just beware. They're out there. And I hope those tips were helpful. So, if you have any, like, tips on how to get rid of the manipulators, please put them in the comments below. Like, please, like, help me and everybody else out, okay? Because we need to just, like, totally stop them in their tracks, okay? So I'd really appreciate it. This has been Queen Juliana, your Dark Mask Diva. I love you all, and you guys have a beautiful evening. Bye-bye.